Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Variable Barricade. It has been a hot fucking minute. Do I say this every single time? I do. Anyway, we are starting a new route. We're starting Ichia's route today. Do you want to use the name? Yes. You may skip previously viewed scenes. You may set the results. We want to skip. Sudden proposal clear. Okay, yeah. Time to choose. Oh, golly gee. And then we skip the show. Hey, Kasuga, I missed you, sweet cheeks. I love you. Sexy son of a bitch. Finale round next. Better let me marry you. I know it's not gonna, but you know what? I still have hopes and dreams. Life hasn't destroyed me totally. Like 98%, and this game will push me the other 2% over. All I wanted was Kasuga. Seriously. Try not to pass out this time. Just saying. Alrighty. That was in this one, wasn't it? Yeah. Taiga's route. Yeah. Make a decision. Alright. I took a deep breath, trying to calm the pounding pulse in my ears. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yada, yada. We've already read this. Going through, looking at Kasuga, begging him to help me. Hello? Why is there no Kasuga? I think don't choose is probably what we choose in the finale route. We're like, no. And then he's like, fine, you marry Kasuga. And we're like, oh, golly gee darn it. I mean, again, we're not going to be able to Kasuga. This man's got some motherfucking secrets, and he's our brother, cousin, uncle, sister, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Listen. I don't give a shit, Kasuga. Still into it. Gross. Anyway, Ichiya! I have full confidence in my ability to make any young lady happy, you know. But right now, the one I want to see smiling the most is you. That's the only way I could think of to do that. I'm very, very glad you liked it. I'm so happy we get to be Ichiya now. Because, like, I need a little bit of the cheese factor in my life. I'm gonna fall off my bouncy ball. Not because I was gonna pass out, like we did in Takastra. I just have to keep stressing that, because, don't worry. Oh, crap, I forgot. I was gonna call and make a doctor's appointment today, and I forgot. But it's okay, I will do it soon. I promise. And, because, like, I've now, since that time where I was like, it's gotta be low blood sugar twice. I've been, like, almost blacked out at work, and I'm like, yeah, this is a problem. This shouldn't be happening. So, yeah, I'm probably having a brain aneurysm, or, like, just my heart stopped working. I don't know, whatever. So, you know, not dead yet, though. If you're seeing this, not dead yet. Yeah. So, don't worry, but I will. I will make a doctor's appointment. Harass me in the comments to do it, just in case. Because I need people to push me. Because I'm a big fucking coward, and I don't like doctors. So... ever since my last doctor was basically, like, a fucking douche. I was like, fuck it, fine. Like, because, you know, I'm sticking it to douchey doctors by not giving a fuck about my health either. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, but... I definitely need to go, though. And my mother will remind me to go, because when my mother and my sister were here, my sister was like, she had a dream that I died. And I'm like, well, that's great, because I've been blacking out a lot recently. Like... and I'm having weird brain fugues where all of a sudden it feels like a memory, but also like a dream, and I can't really tell. Is that just like a dream? Was I awake and I just like, my brain just like shut down for a second like I was sleeping? Am I like narcoleptic maybe? I don't know. You know? So I'm like, this weird shit's been going on. And then my sister had a dream I died. And was at my house where I currently am. So it's like, okay. That on top of like the weird things that have been happening. Yeah. And the fact that I told my mom about the weird things, so she'll be like, did you go to a doctor? You need to go to a doctor. Did you go to a doctor? And I, like, talked to friends of mine. I'm like, you said your doctors would get new patients, right? Because whatever. And I told them what was happening. They're like, call now or go to the ER. So, you know, I got people around me that'll remind me to not be a lazy douchehole. So, you know. But anyway, if you're seeing this, I'm not dead. It's fine. Yet. Oh. I have to laugh because I was scared this today. I had a little cry session, like, freaking out because this isn't normal, but then I started recording. So. A little late to do it now, but I'm like, I have to do it, you know, the next couple of days. Anyway. So, yeah, but we'll try not to pass out while we're playing the game again. Ooh, the update when I go to the doctor and it's like, here's the list of everything wrong with me. Or they'll be like, nothing's wrong with you. Seriously? Something is wrong with me. A lot of things are wrong with me, but it doesn't mean that it's like medical. We play these games enough. We know there's a lot of shit wrong with me. Anyway. Okay, Ichiya. Oh? It isn't as if I have any feelings for him. It's simply that he's made the biggest impression on me. He's so ridiculously pushy, I couldn't help but think of him. Grandfather watched, clearly amused, as I mumbled my hasty reasoning. After a moment, he silently stood to leave. What the fuck is Ichiya hiding? Because we know what Nayuta's hiding. Shion actually wasn't really hiding anything. Well, except for he met our grandfather and saw us once at a party. You know, so okay. But Taiga was just there to be the watcher, but I'm like, is Ichiya hiding anything, or is he an actual legit suitor? I feel like he's a legit suitor, because him and Shion, you know, seemed to want to be there, where Taiga seemed indifferent, and Nayuta was like, well, you didn't know until you realized why he was there, and then you're like, oh, okay. Anyway. Okay, I'll communicate this with the branch families. Kasuga, take care of the rest if you please. Understood, master. Love you, Kasuga. The screens closed and Grandfather's steps faded. Once I could no longer hear them, I sighed as all my strength deflated from me in a rush. I feel like the other scenes where we picked took a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Where there was more conversation with her grandfather. So like, okay! But at the same time, an indescribable feeling danced along my nerves and swept up through my body. Ugh! What in the world was all that? Driving me into a corner like I was a game piece? Kasuga grimaced, walking up to me as I groaned in frustration. Oh, okay, so this is the same thing. Alright, we've already done all this. I was wondering, I'm like, let me just hit the button and see if, like, we've done some of this before, but... oh, wait. Oh, so we're talking about Kazu again, okay. My reluctance to answer didn't go unnoticed by Kasuga. Patiently, he began to explain again. It's funny that we can't skip this, because I feel like it's the same thing. Huh. I guess it's maybe he says slightly different things, because this is different. Anyway. You are an intelligent woman, miss. Surely you cannot have misunderstood how dangerous it would be for even the rumor of another man to crop up right now. Well, yes, I realize that. And now that you've decided upon a temporary fiancé, who should you be prioritizing the most? Kasuga? I mean, what? Ichiya? Like you? Always. Kasuga, I always prioritize you the most. I answered, but the thought was still a painful one. I needed a confidant like Kazu. Especially now when I had so much to think about with the branch families and my fiancé and everything. Oh, Kazu's gonna pop up in this anyway, because he's like Ichiya's like fucking twin brother or some shit. They look too much alike to not be fucking related, come on. Do not meet with him again, miss. Please. It's for your own good. Right. I reluctantly agreed, and he smiled brightly. I'm grateful that you understand and agree, miss. And now then, it's time to return to the vacation home. Right. Kasuga turned and began to walk. I watched him go, clutching my phone in my pocket. He did have a point. I needed to be circumspect. I couldn't go to meet with him on a whim. At least we can talk via Whis. I hoped you'd allow me to at least that much. Miss? Oh, so he didn't delete the number this time. That tells you, because, like, everybody else had somebody that was, like, in their quote-unquote kind of family, whatever, like, pop the fuck up, and, like, Taiga had the relationship with her grandfather, you know what I mean? And, like, Shion had Rue, even though it wasn't really a family thing, but it was the weird, like, almost like a rivalry kind of thing going on, somebody that just kind of throws a wrench in your works a little bit, like, freaking Nayuta's uncle and shit. And, like, Kazu showed up in the common route, but you're like, you're related to Ichiya because you look just like him. Stop it. Like, come on. And now, Kasuga didn't delete his phone number. So, in all the other ones, he deletes the phone number and you forget. Like, okay, whatever. And this one, he doesn't. Absolutely told you he's related to Ichiya and he's going to come back hard in this route. Nothing. He looked over his shoulder at me. I shook my head and hurried to catch up to him. So I think that's interesting. Alright. Okay. We are supposed to pick heroine loss, romance route. Battle result set to heroine loss, romance route. That'll fit. Good luck, bitch. Seriously, this is gonna be a goddamn train wreck, and I'm gonna love every second of it. Oh, Ichiya. Crazy bastard. Ichiya Mitsumori. In order to learn more about Ichiya, Shion and I tail him for a day. What we see is Shion and I tailing it. Oh, this is gonna be great. I love this. And now then, Spacey. And today is finally the day that I'll hear from your own lips that you love me. Excuse me? What in the world? Ugh, I swear, the things that just fly out of this man's mouth sometimes. That's why I love him. It's gonna be great. Ichiya, please. I'm well aware that you're the kind of person who wouldn't take the hint to get a bucket of water if they were on fire. I get that. Wouldn't take the hint to get a bucket of water if they were on fire. I'm sorry. Let me read this again. I'm well aware that you're the kind of person who wouldn't take the hint to get a bucket of water if they were on fire. I get that. It's like she didn't just fucking, like, girl, he's gonna need several buckets for the level of that burn, because, like, you just insulted the man. Like, listen, I'm aware that you're this much of an idiot. I get it. And, like, you just emphasized by throwing out, I get it. Like, you just twisted that blade. That's hilarious. He also is probably too stupid to get this, which I love. Oh. But seriously, time, place, occasion. Please try to keep at least one of those things in mind before you open your mouth, would ya? Thanks. Look at him kind of glaring at us a little, like he's slightly offended, but it's sexy. Now let's get going. If we don't hurry, the crosswalk light's gonna turn. What? Excuse me? What are you doing? Let me go! No, I won't let go. I won't let go, my delicate little bird. If I do, I'm afraid you'll fly away, never to return to me again. I'm not gonna be able. This route's gonna take us like a decade. It's gonna take so long. Because every time he opens his mouth, I'm just gonna start laughing. I don't think I could get through Ichiya's route. Every time, I don't think I could do it. Oh god. You know there are times where you go through routes and you're like, I don't think I can get through this route because it's painful and I hate it. I don't think I can get through this route because I'm gonna be laughing my ass off because I have to read and be Ichiya and it's just hard. It's hard. So come, my sweet songbird, sing your answer for me. I won't let go until you do. This, when we were standing smack in the middle of a crosswalk with the light changing. He stepped closer. Unsurprisingly, people started to stare at us. Did I mention he was doing this in the middle of a crosswalk? God, this is the absolute worst. I wish I could crawl in a hole and die. Don't worry, darling. There's no need to be shy. There are no boundaries to our love. There, see? The world has come to give us its blessings. What are you going on about this time? Huh? Almost as if Ichiya had cued them, the crowd suddenly started to applaud. Hold on, I gotta turn my volume down. Like, it's wicked loud. Like, my volume's down really low, but it's so loud in this game. It doesn't seem like it's that loud for you guys, but damn, that was blasting. Not only that, foreign tourists pushed forward to snap pictures of us. Could you fucking imagine? Congrats! Congratulations! Congrats! Congrats there! I feel like that's what the tour should have been. Congratulations! What is going on here? Seriously? This starts out heavy. Now do you see? Fate itself has bound us together, never to be parted. The whole world desires our blessed union. The world can take a hike. I don't desire it at all. We need no longer exchange words. Your song stirs my soul, little bird, but it's time to hush. Oh, God, Ichiya. His cloyingly cheesy words made me shudder. Slowly, he started leaning closer and closer. Something was wrong with this. Very, very, very wrong. Are you having a dream? Heck, everything is really wrong with this. The moment that thought crossed my mind, I was just wondering, I'm like, is she dreaming this shit? Oh my god. Ugh! I jolted upright in bed, frantically glancing around me. I saw familiar white furniture and pastel walls. No crosswalk. No crowd. It was indeed my room. Was it just a dream? I feel like for her it was a nightmare. Ugh! What kind of dreams am I having? And it seemed so real that my heart was still thudding from embarrassment. In an attempt to scrub the last of that nightmare from my mind, I jumped out of bed and started to get dressed. You know what this is. This is because that old vulture pushed me to decide on a suitor. That's what it is. Okay, Ichia. Oh? It isn't as if I have any feelings for him. It's simply that he's made the biggest impression on me. He's so ridiculously pushy, I couldn't help but think of him. I thought back on the story I'd been told when I was summoned to the main estate the other day, on how I was pushed into choosing a temporary suitor. Easy enough for that meddling old coot to demand I choose. It's not like it impacted my life or anything. Ugh, I didn't expect that to stress me out badly enough to start having nightmares. I quickly got dressed, muttering every insult I could think of. I helped each one jab grandfather in the hip. Bitch, jabbing me in the hip, stop it. And I don't really understand why I picked Ichia. It was only for appearances anyway. I could have chosen Taiga, Shion, or even Nayuta and it wouldn't have made any difference. But for some reason, the first name that popped into my head was Ichia's. It's about time. You've picked everybody else in those 3 other fucking alternate universes, and poor Ichiya, he's waited patiently. Of course it's plenty. In fact, I'd say it's almost too much for her. Spacey is a girl, you know. Tell that to my fat ass that demands food constantly. And my inability for my fat ass to process said food, even if it's lettuce. You ate lettuce, you gained 6 pounds. Or... I feel like if I go to the doctor, I'm like, could you check my thyroid to make sure it's not, like, completely fucking dead? They'll be like, it's perfectly fine. Then why is my ass so fat? Seriously. Also realize I've been having headaches on, like, the left side of my brain. So, like, maybe I do have a brain aneurysm. What a bitch. I should stop talking about it, but if I don't talk about it, I'll think about it, and then I get scared. So, you have to be in the scared boat with me. I had no idea how much experience he truly had with girls in his life. But at first, he definitely was trying hard to push his personal idea of what normal girls like onto me, rather than paying attention to what I really wanted. To be blunt, he was a textbook flirt. Flirt? I was looking at flaky as I said flirt, and it came out flirk. Textbook flirt. Flaky and dense, with girls at the forefront of his thought processes. At the rate things were going, he was on track to be the first suitor escorted off the premises. But... I like to think I know a lot of different ways to please girls of all types. But right now, the one I want to please most is you, and this was the only way I could think of that might work. At first, everything he did was nauseatingly overdone, but he did make some effort to accommodate me. He learned to see me, not his idea of a normal girl. I won't say that I was touched by the gesture, but I wasn't particularly unhappy about it either. Hold on a second. My niece just texted me and said, was mom perfect her entire life? She said she was. So I just had to reply back to that. Yeah, okay. Like laughing my fucking ass off. I'm sorry. I was too good to resist. Anyway, you know, before I have my brain aneurysm explodes and I like pass out. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm worried. I really am. Like seriously. Like now every little ache and pain or like you blink too long and you're like, oh god, I'm having a seat. Like I'm starting to get really paranoid and freaked out. So, you know, anyway, not trying to put that weight on you guys, but like I need to talk to someone about it because I'm scared, man. Otherwise, I'll curl up in a ball and cry. And notice I didn't. Oh, I don't want to call it work, but then by the time I get home, it's like it's late, and then I'm like, ugh. So, but then I can't, and then it's like, what am I going to have to do? Call Friday when I'm working from home? Like, I'm going to have to just, like, walk to a conference room or something tomorrow and just freaking get it over with. But it's scary. Because then they're going to ask, like, why? And you're like, because I think I'm dying. And then I'm going to be sobbing at work trying to be like, because, like, I passed out a couple times and I think I was blacking out and my head hurts and I think I'm going to die. And, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't work well under pressure. I cry about everything. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. I cry when I'm stressed. I cry when I'm scared. Like, I just cry, okay? So, like, calling a doctor is, like, nerve-wracking because I haven't done it in, like, over a decade. And then you're going to call me, and I don't know where my records are, and I think I'm dying. And, like, you know what I mean? I'm not an adult. I need an adultier adult to do the adult things like this for me. I call my friends. Can you call them for me? Can you call for me? I don't want to do it. Anyway. Now that I think now I think I'd be all right with learning a little more about him. That's all it was. Really. For now, anyway. Grandfather insisted I try to look at him in that way, too. That said, how do I go about doing so? I sat to think when my eyes happened to spot Rabbi sitting quietly in his corner of my room. Rabbi, the cute little robot rabbit that Arimura gave to me so I could observe my suitors in secret. We got some nice pictures of that. That Shion one was downright porn, Jesus. I think I'm going to spend today observing Ichi and see what he gets up to. Fortunately, today was a day off. With nothing on my schedule, I had all the time I needed. Satisfied with my idea, I gave Rabbi a quick pat and then left my room. Miso soup, grilled fish, grilled daikon radishes, grated daikon radishes, sorry. Eggs sunny side up and sprinkled with seaweed and steamed rice. Yeah, it's perfect, Ichiya. This is the picture of a traditional Japanese breakfast table. Of a traditional Japanese breakfast. I can't read. That has nothing to do with my brain aneurysm. I just can't read. Personally, I tend to prefer Western food overall, but this is a refreshing change of pace. Still, you've greatly increased the variety of Japanese dishes you've presented lately, Ichiya. Where did this sudden change of heart come from? And now I just got 32 texts. That's why sometimes you don't reply to people. I got a painful lesson in just how much I don't know the other day. I seriously needed to up my repertoire. And now the only question is if Spacey will like these dishes. Oh, hey, Spacey. Good morning. You came at just the right time. Good morning. Taiga was up until the wee hours again, I presume. Yep, I went to wake him up, but he booted me out of his room. It was, 5 a.m., I think? What the heck were you expecting? Ah, well, let's leave Taiga to his own devices. What do you think of today's menu? I hope that it's to your liking. Ichiya turned to look at me, and I felt my eyes instantly dart away, as if by reflex. Spacey, is something wrong? It's nothing. There's no way I was going to tell him that seeing his face reminded me of the nightmare I just had. Could you imagine? Oh my god, I'm sorry, I just saw you. It reminded me of this nightmare I had. He's like, oh my god, what happened? So we were in a crosswalk and you were being all ridiculously cheesy and shit, and it just made me want to vomit. And god, I woke up. I was going to throw myself in front of a car. Like, I mean, come on. That's right. I don't think he deserves that quite yet. Say, Ichiya, when someone's in the wrong, I think it's important that they apologize as soon as possible. If you're about to grovel, I'm totally in. I'm in the mood to get stomped on till I bleed. Oh my god. Excuse me, but what's with this talk? Why are you suggesting that I did something wrong? Wait, don't tell me. You all noticed the undying love I mixed into this dish. It's my secret ingredient. You're not supposed to identify it so easily. Yes, thank you for breakfast. I ignored the chatter flying between the others, taking my seat and picking up my spoon. I took my first sip of miso soup and... delicious. Was it me or was today's soup tastier than it usually was? It's his undying love. Not to the credit of that secret ingredient, I'm sure. Should have slapped me in the face with my own comment. Today I planned to observe how Ichiya acted when he wasn't trying to put up a front for me. That said, I had to admit my plan had a bit of an ulterior motive. Oh, hi, Spacey. Do you need something from me? No, it's nothing. I was just curious about what you were doing out in the yard. I was hoping to surprise you, but I'm foiled by your beautifully tuned skills of perception. Beautifully tuned skills of perception. I'm looking for the perfect flower to give you. Unfortunately, though this yard is flush with lovely flowers, none of them reach my very lofty standards. Why, you ask? Because at this moment, the most beautiful bloom in the universe stands before me. I didn't fucking ask, but thank you. How do you keep a straight face every time he opens his mouth? I know she gets annoyed by him, but I would just crack up laughing. I'd be like, you can't be serious. Oh, God. Why, you ask? I didn't. Okay, you're gonna keep going. Purple is fashionable this year, so maybe I should accent this shirt hem accordingly. Oh, how long have you been standing there, Spacey? I didn't even notice you. I was just passing by. Please don't mind me. Go back to your magazine. Oh, no, I can't do that now. No book or magazine in the world could captivate me as much as the story beating within your heart. Jeez. Would you allow me to thumb through your pages? What the fuck does that mean? Phrasing! That sounds dirty! I know that's not what you meant, but that sounds wildly inappropriate. Everything he says. Oh, and he's winking at us. It's wildly inappropriate. Wink, thumb through your pages. When you wink, it doesn't help it not sound dirty, Ichia. Jesus. I love him so much. Oh my God. I don't know how we're going to make it through the whole route. I feel like right now we're like, he's hilarious. But I feel like in about a couple of hours, I'm going to be like, I want to choke him. I don't know. We'll see. Let's take bets on if by the time I get to the end, I want to choke Ichia or I'm still laughing my ass off at how fucking cheesy he is. I don't know. Could go either way. Yeah, this isn't going to work. After making a strategic retreat, wow. After making a strategic retreat, my inability to read is concerning me now. I heaved a sigh and returned to my room. Ichi's normal self. The side of him that isn't just a cheesy front he uses to try and impress me. How am I supposed to observe his normal self when he promptly turns on the schmaltz the second he sees me? Suppose I ought to just leave this in Ravi's paws and watch the recordings. But doing it that way feels like giving up. Ichiya? Yes, I looked and it doesn't seem like he's home right now. Did he go somewhere? I do believe he went out shopping. He mentioned something about the mall in Omotesando. Oh, I see. Thank you! This was my chance. If I could just find him at the mall, I'd be able to observe him in a more natural habitat. What? Do you need something? I was just about to run some errands. Going to the Omotesando Mall, I presume. Omotesando. I hit the nail on the head. I noticed you seemed awfully interested in Ichia today. I'm not particularly interested, no. Oh, if you weren't going to the mall, then where were you planning to go? There's no getting out of this, is there? Fine. I'd have to make a serious decision and choose a suitor soon, but my bias had prevented me from really learning about them. I wanted to fix that, starting with Ichia. But since he always slapped on a false face when he knew I was around, I wanted to observe him from a distance. Once I finished summarizing my plans for Shion, he promptly said, "Oh, I'll accompany you then." What? Why? I doubt you have experience following someone right. I'll help you. This is concerning after we've already done your route. No offense, but I don't regard you as the type who's a grand master at subtlety tailing people, either. At subtly tailing people. I can't... I've always not been able to read, right? This is not like new thing. Is it getting worse? I don't... Okay. Am I making sense? Am I speaking English? Did I, turn into gibberish? I'm concerned. I've never attempted to tail someone, no. But I've been stalked plenty of times, so I have a grasp on a stalker's mindset. Wow. And not only that, I think a young lady wandering about a mall on the weekend all by herself would be a rather sad sight that others would notice. Don't you agree? He had a good point. It didn't take me long to make a decision. That's what happens when you're old. You can go to the mall by yourself and everyone's like, look at that old lady, she's probably doing her mall laps. Not that I know where there's a mall. In fact, actually, there was a mall right next to where I got my car inspected and, like, whatever. And, like, I had no idea until my mom mentioned it, like, earlier this year. Like, oh, blah, 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 this mall, blah, blah. I'm like, they closed the mall? I'm like, oh. It's right next door. I get my car inspected every fucking year. I had no idea they closed that fucking mall. And they're demolishing it and putting up, like, an office building or some shit. I'm like, oh. Huh. The hell have I been? Because I don't go to malls, dude. Like, I like, high school, you're like, oh my god, we're going to the mall. And you just wander around the mall. And then you get to the point where you're like, I don't want to go to a fucking mall. I can shop online. Why am I going to the mall? Like, I don't know. Malls are for young people. I'm too old. Or, like, for really old people when you want to do those mall laps. You know, you're like, I'm just going to put on your like, freaking old lady yoga suit or whatever and just pace around the mall like that. Like, I'm not quite... I'm middle-aged, man. I'm too old for malls, but I'm too young for the mall laps. Like, you know? I don't know. I also hate crowds, so, like, fuck that shit. Anyway. I'd appreciate it if you could accompany me. But anyway, if I went to the mall by myself, no one would think anything weird. Because I'm old. It doesn't look weird. Oh, a young girl at the mall. They'd be like, oh, it's an old lady. It's fine. It's fine. I've been worried that, what I would do if we got there and he was already gone, or if he blended in with the crowd so well we couldn't find him. Well, we actually managed to spot him rather easily. It was mostly thanks to Shion's hunch, but still. Hi, what are you doing, bird? Come, let's visit that flower shop over there next. All right. Shion was far more entertained than I expected, and I was strangely more reluctant than I thought. Why, you ask? Well... then could you add this pink lily to the bouquet too, please? Of course, sir. Is this a gift for your special someone? A special someone? Oh, she's far more than merely special. She's like the other half of my soul, my one true partner as decreed by the fates themselves. You were like, I figured Ichio would not be cheesy, and nope, he never stops! You can't turn off the cheese in the cheese factory. What the fuck would be the point of the cheese factory if there was no cheese? It's like, Ichia is the cheese factory. Oh, and that gives me an idea. Could I add a message to the bouquet? I'd like it to say, for my beloved Princess Spacey, if that's all right. The look on Shian's face! Just, okay, I know it's like basically the same art that's always there, but after, like, Ichia says that and they cut to this, he's like, the fuck? Keep yourself together, Spacey. It'd be really great if he'd stop dropping my name at every single shop he visits. Ichio was insufferable at every single store. Every one. And each time all I could do was stand there quivering in embarrassment while Shion watched and chuckled. Oh, look, there he goes to another shop. Well, do you want to keep following him? I wanted to go home, really. But leaving now somehow feels like admitting defeat. Personally, I think this side of you is adorable and an entertaining... Well, this is me just not being able to read. Personally, I think this side of you is adorable on an entertaining level, Spacey. You didn't need to add the entertaining bit, thanks! I did my best to ignore Shion's occasional snide comment as we followed after Ichia. What are you doing, bird? You need to simmer down. Eventually, he stepped into a clothing store that had dozens of obviously expensive men's suits lined up in its windows. Tailor shop? One that specializes in made-to-order suits, no less. I believe this is a branch of an Italian chain. Given Ichia's physique, I doubt many pre-made Japanese suits fit him well. An Italian brand would fit his personal style quite nicely, too. Shion nodded to himself, but I just felt conflicted and confused. He's unemployed. But he's buying a tailor-made suit? I'm pretty fucking sure that Taiga had you buy him a motorcycle, so I feel like Ichi in a suit is like, whatever. Oh, it's good to see you again, sir. It's been much too long. How may we help you today? Actually, I was hoping you could give me some advice. I need a suit that makes me look worthy of being in the company of my lovely princess. My, that's a very tall order, sir. But I think we may be able to find something for you. What sort of lady is your princess? Oh, you want to know? She's like the first blush of a rose's bloom. Beautiful, elegant, yet still delicate. There goes again. He tries so hard, bless him.
It seems he frequents this place, so he'll probably be chatting with the tailor for quite some time.
He frequents it?
Yes, the attendant is obviously treating him like a preferred customer. There, see, they went in the back.
It wasn't unusual for me to receive that kind of VIP treatment from a luxury retail establishment, given my family connections. But for Ichia? I wonder if... Okay. So I feel like we threw this out there before, but maybe I'm just misremembering, because, my brain aneurysm, whatever. But, like... when the grandfather's like, oh, the Branch family is watching to marry this rich hoity-toity, but oh yeah, he's good on paper, but whatever. You know what I mean? And we keep choosing, like, I wonder if this Ichia. Did we throw that out there, like we wondered if it was Ichia? Because, like, he's, like, the last recommended soft order route, right? And when we were like, Ichia, and grandfather's like, uh-huh, alright. And he just left, he didn't say anything, you know what I mean? And I just kind of wonder, because now he's we're like, oh, he's unemployed, but he keeps going into this fancy, like, I wonder if he's like this, like, that's why he doesn't have a job and he's unemployed and everything like that, is because he's like, I don't need to be employed, I'm fucking loaded. You know what I mean? He's like, or, honestly, Ichia might be the one that they put in the thing, but maybe Kazu, because I feel like they're related, if that's like his brother or something, is the one that they were like, oh, you should marry him because he's better than Ichia, but like Ichia and Kazu are in the same family. You know what I mean? I feel like it's gonna be one of them. That's like the secret, like, this is the person they wanted you to be with type of a thing. Because, like, it's weird that they throw that out there. They're gonna force you to marry and that guy's not even here, where like you could like, oh, well, maybe I want that guy. He sounds great on paper. So like, I mean, that could have just been like a plot point to be like, oh, we had to force you into the situation and that was the good enough reason, so that you didn't hate grandfather, because the grandfather actually is just, he does kind of actually have our best interest at heart, like, even though he's a dick about it. It's kind of funny. But you know what I mean? Like, he does want us to be able to choose, but he's like, you kind of have to, though, so he's kind of pushing us to do it, but on our own terms in a way, because he knows we won't otherwise. So I don't think his motives are terrible. But I'm wondering, like, if Ichia is either that guy that the Branch family's picked, and he's like, well, I'm going to throw him in there, and you pick him on your own. Or if it was, like, Kazu, and that's why Kazu kind of hangs around, like, and doesn't tell us who he really is, because he's like, wait, my freaking, like, loser brother's in your fucking house, but I'm the one that you should marry. Like, you know what I mean? If it's one of them. I do definitely think they're related, but I think it'd be interesting if Ichia was, like, the one that the Branch family's picked. You know what I mean? And that would explain... I mean, he's definitely got money. Or, like, because if he's going in here and they know him, you know what I mean? So that makes me sus of that, so... Anyway.
Does it really surprise you to learn Ichia would be a preferred customer at that sort of place?
Well, I mean... He's unemployed, basically. And attempted marriage fraud darkened his record. I could imagine him having money. In fact, a part of me still clung to the idea that he was a gold digger looking to marry me only for my wealth. I could imagine him having money. Did marriage fraud darkened his record? I feel like it should say I couldn't imagine him having money. In fact, a part of me clung to the idea he was a gold digger. You know what I mean? That would make more sense. I feel like that might have been a typo. But anyway.
What? He doesn't seem all that odd to me at all. Everything Ichia owns is quality, and not just his suits. People who know what they're looking at will notice right away, I think. He's not some nouveau riche poser trying to flaunt wealth with brand names. He's someone who understands what true quality is.
Again, this is...
You don't develop an expert eye for the finer things in life just overnight. I wager that Ichi had a very well-to-do upbringing.
Then, isn't a poor grifter looking for easy money? I was stunned. Shion's observations had never even crossed my mind. Shion, you don't mind my asking, how long have you known that about Ichia?
I pieced it together as soon after we met. As I just said, it's obvious if you know what to look for.
I saw Ichia every day, same as Shion, yet I didn't notice those telltale signs of his wealth.
I suppose you're so accustomed to being constantly surrounded by the finer things in life that none of it struck you as unusual at all.
That observation wasn't very reassuring. I really haven't been looking at the world around me through unclouded eyes, have I? Not Ichia, certainly. Not many other people either. I'm starting to realize. If I changed my point of view a little bit, maybe I would have learned something about the real Ichia. Passive observation isn't enough. I need to be more proactive in learning about others. It was no longer satisfactory to glance at people's surface natures. I needed to learn about them properly, about who they really were and what they really wanted. I finally realized how important that was. What?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking how you're quite a sweet person, Spacey.
Huh? What is that supposed to mean?
Though I hope you'll look deeply at me, too, and not just Ichia.
I will, eventually.
Oh, I'm not sure. Really?
I'll make an effort, at least. I'd chosen Ichia as my temporary suitor, so of course he had to take priority, but I couldn't exactly say as much to Shion. I did my best to dodge the subject.
I'll be waiting then.
You had your turn.
That aside, now what? Are you going to follow Ichia until he finally goes home?
Oh, right. We'd followed him this far, and Ichia hadn't acted much differently than he did at home. At least I hadn't noticed an appreciable difference. But thanks to Shion, the trip hadn't been meaningless. I'd learned something very important about Ichia. I wasn't accustomed to shadowing people either. Staying on Ichia's trail would probably be a waste of energy.
Are you feeling a bit tired? I know a nice little cafe that's not too far. Why don't we go there and take a break? Besides, I think I deserve a treat for going out of my way to help you stalk Ichia.
Uh-huh. So that's what you're after.
Are you telling me you're going to turn down sweets?
There was something about Shion's smile that didn't let me stay mad for long. Your ulterior motives aside, I do think it's probably time for a break. Sorry.
Lovely. And then let's go. Right now, if we don't hurry, we'll get caught by...
Oh, I'm assuming it's Ichia. Caught, And does that mean you're up to something that you don't want me to find out about? Ichia!
Drat.
Shion frowned. He was irritated about being seen, but his pout was disarmingly cute, even when he was miffed. Hold on just a second. I had to stop because I literally got completely lightheaded again, and I was like, fuck, we're heading for a blackout. And I don't... Alright. I promise you, I will call the doctor tomorrow. In fact, I almost want to call like now, even though it's 5:30. I feel like they should be open. It's late at night. Well, not late at night, but it's like after work hours. But like, okay, I need to do this because like I ate, like I didn't eat dinner yet, but like I ate lunch today. It's not like I wasn't eating. And I came home and I had a couple pieces of chocolate, and then like we came up to record. So it's like it shouldn't be low blood sugar because I ate chocolate, and I'm not even talking like a little piece. I think I had like 3 or 4 pieces of like Dove chocolate. So like it's not a lot, but like it's still something like, oh, just to boost your sugar. And it shouldn't get to the point where I'm like, oh god, I'm totally dizzy and I think I'm gonna pass out. Like this is not normal. I promise. I will call the doctor either tonight or tomorrow. Okay. And the next, I was actually going to record 2 parts tonight, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to finish this part. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to eat something. So like the next part, you should hear me tell you, I called the doctor and I made an appointment because I think I'm going to fucking die. Like, shit, this is scary. But anyway, that's it. I had to stop because last time I was like, oh, I'm getting a little, and then I literally did fall. You could hear me falling on the floor in that part. And I didn't want that to happen again. So I don't know what it is. Apparently reading makes me want to like, do I have like some kind of weird like syncope issue where it's like when you read, you pass out? It's like, fuck, what the hell? Anyway. Okay, we got like 15 minutes left, so if this part's a little off, it's because shit. Alright, anyway. I think we read this, but I'll read it again anyway. Shion frowned. He was irritated about being seen, but his pout was disarmingly cute, even when he was miffed. And here I'd been ecstatic at the fortuitous twist of fate that let me run into you, Spacey, while out on an errand. But when I noticed you were with her, Shion, you can't imagine the bolt of pain that needled straight into my heart. And don't tell me the two of you are... we're... I couldn't possibly tell him to his face that we'd been tailing him. That was out of the question. I tried to think of some explanation when Shion eased his arm around me like it was the most natural thing.
Curses. It's such a pity we were spotted during our secret tryst. Isn't that right, Spacey?
Huh?
Right?
I guess so? I really, really wanted to deny it, but I couldn't think of a better explanation while on the spot. Ichiya fell silent, looking conflicted. After a moment, he sighed heavily. I get it. Even though I have a lock on Spacey's heart, it appears I've become a little sloppy. That's the danger of having too much confidence in oneself.
Ichiya, I told you over and over, it's rude to vent your fantasies in public. There are kids around.
Oh, shut up! Anyway, this distraction has made me later than I already am. Spacey, in light of this little tryst, can I ask you to go on a date with me next? All right, let's. I thought as much. A pity. Really it is, but I won't give up. Wait, what? Do you mind saying that for me one more time? I want to make sure my hearing isn't going. I said I'll go on a date with you, and please don't make me say it again. It's embarrassing.
Tia, hello. Did the shock cause your heart to stop? Shall I call an ambulance?
Hey, that's a little too real right now. Shion waved his hand in front of Ichiya's face. He swatted it away to look straight at me. Leave it to me then. I'll make sure it's the greatest date you've ever been on. Ichiya was so happy I could swear his soles weren't touching the ground. I stared at him, conflicted. Given the fuddle state of his brain, there was no way he'd realize Shion and I were actually here because we were following him. Fuddled state of your brain. I mean, this is getting a little too real with, did your heart stop? You need an ambulance, fuddled brain. I'm not sure, I mean, I'm just worrying dizziness and all that shit could be because of a thyroid issue, could be a heart condition, could be a thyroid and a heart condition for all I fucking know. I could have a brain aneurysm. I don't know, but it's not normal and something's wrong. I know for a fact. Especially if it's I'm sitting here recording and I was just about to pass out again, so. So it's a little too real, game. I get it, okay? I hadn't turned down his date, mostly because I felt guilty about the deception, but a small part of me realized it was a good excuse to get to know him.
Spacey.
I'm sorry. Shion leaned close and muttered, "You owe me," under his breath. Quietly sighed. Ichiya meets Amore. Clear. Ooh! These are long chapters. I don't think we're going to be able to finish one because I don't know if I can, manage without, A date is a battle. That's that one. Probably this one. Yeah, okay. A date is a battle? I braced myself for my first date with Ichiya, and turns out to be surprisingly enjoyable. Thank you. Here will do, Kasuga.
Have a pleasant time, Miss Hibari.
Miss Spacey! Fuck game. Even I know. Okay, I'm not. My aneurysm in my brain hasn't exploded enough for me to forget my name, Kasuga. Hibari is her original name, in case you didn't know. I'm sure most of you do. But anyway,
Miss Spacey, and please take care of yourself.
I feel like you're calling me out now. Again, literally. I get it, okay, game? I get it. I have a befuddled brain, heart, ambulance, blah, blah, blah. Take care of my... I get it, okay? I will call the fucking doctor.
If anything untoward happens, don't hesitate to press the alarm button that I gave to you. I'll fly to your side in an instant.
Pressing button right now. Pressing alarm button right now. You... Birds are chirping to each other. Ugh. I'm not an elementary school student, Kasuga. Seriously. Do you really think this is necessary?
Of course. You are, after all, my precious and irreplaceable mistress. And now then, good luck, miss.
I want to be your precious and irreplaceable lover, but whatever, mistress works, I guess. It's fine. Sheesh. He's so overprotective. He could be overprotective of me. I bet Kasuga would call the doctor for me. Kasuga, could you call the doctor for me? I'm scared. I wonder if Ichiya's here already. As I walked to our meetup point, I couldn't help but notice all the girls that I happened to pass. It was a popular dating spot, so all of them looked pretty and fashionable. Do I look alright? Is my hair still okay? It wasn't getting frizzy, was it? Did I pick the right color of lip gloss? It was odd. I saw Ichiya every day and never felt jittery in those circumstances. Yet as soon as we labeled our meeting a date, I suddenly felt so much more nervous. My phone suddenly started to buzz in my hand, making me jump a bit. I looked at the screen expecting to see Ichia contacting me, but... Spacey, please keep in mind the advice I gave... Oh, please keep the advice I gave you in mind. Advice? Still not sure if that really counts as advice. Hi. This all started a few days after I accepted Ichia's date offer. I was chatting with Samugi and happened to mention it. I expected her to react strongly to the news, but I wasn't prepared for just how strongly. Ah, is that so? I see. Ah, Spacey, the day has finally arrived for you to make your battlefield debut. I really don't like how all of a sudden, in this chapter, my name is wrong all the time. Battlefield? Come on, Samugi. That's a bit dramatic. Listen, Tim. My brain aneurysm is not kicked in enough. My brain is not that fuddled. I know what my fucking name is. I feel like the game is trying to keep me on my toes. It's like, bitch, you're dying over here. I'm being slightly dramatic. But again, I'm worried. I have to make jokes because I'm scared fucking shitless. This isn't normal, okay? If I'm lucky, the worst thing is going to be you have diabetes. Because, that runs in my family. So does heart disease. I could have a brain aneurysm. I could have a thyroid condition. You know what I mean? None of the things that are a possibility for this are, legit. At least the one day when I legitimately fell off my bouncy ball and passed out, it was well, I didn't really eat much for lunch, and I pushed it, and it was, a couple of hours, and then, it was, I hadn't eaten a lot that day. So I could have been, low blood sugar. But, the other day, it happened last Thursday at work. And I was again, I hadn't eaten too much that day, but I was still, it happened at work, and before we went back to work, I never used to eat a ton at work. You know what I mean? I'd have coffee in the morning. I would never eat breakfast. Okay, I'm used to not eating breakfast. And then lunch, I would have lighter lunches. Although for a while, because they were giving us free food at work, you just go and you get a sandwich, you get whatever, you get lunch, whatever. So I definitely ate a lot more. Okay? But even cutting back and going back to, okay, so I'm going to have a light lunch or whatever. Even not eating breakfast. I never ate breakfast at work. I eat breakfast at home and I eat literally a Nature Valley, oatmeal square. It's I have 200 calories for breakfast between my coffee and that. So it's not oh, I have a huge breakfast when I'm home or whatever. So and then lunch has always been lighter, right? I always because I know I eat a bulk of my calories in the evening. I know that I will eat a bigger dinner and then I'll just sit there and munch while I watch TV or whatever, So I'm it's easier to eat less during the day because I know I'm going to bulk up more in the evening. So I just know that's how I go. So yes, but one day I'm well, maybe it's because I started trying to be healthier again because we don't have free food, but it's been a while that we haven't had free food and I've been eating normal lunches. Even when we had free food, I would bring stuff. So I didn't always go get free food. You know what I mean? I didn't always get a sandwich for lunch. I didn't always get the stuff, whatever. I definitely got snacks more often. But and the only thing that's really changed recently is I went from drinking the lattes in the morning to just going straight back to normal coffee when I'm at work. But again, that's been a couple months. So even that change, it shouldn't have been well, bam, all of a sudden you're passing out constantly. It's not enough that, it's weird because I just don't think anything has changed drastically enough. It's not I went from oh, I eat 3,000 calories a day to I'm eating 300. I've cut back trying to be healthier and pay more attention, but I've also, done this before where it's not again, it's not I'm starving myself, but it's not I went oh, well, I used to always eat 1,500 calories at lunch and now my body can't handle, no, I've always used, for years, eat lighter lunches when I bring them because I know I'm going to eat more at dinner. You know what I mean? So it's in the last few weeks and it's there's really nothing that's changed that much in the last month or so. To warrant the fact that yeah, the one day, okay, I got black, but it's happened more often where I have these moments where I'm sitting there and I'm doing something, or it's literally reading. So I'm is reading breaking my brain? Is something wrong with my eyes in my brain? What's going on? I'll be reading on my phone at work, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden I get this weird fugue state where it feels like I'm having a memory flashback, but I don't think they're real memories because I can never place them, and it feels almost like a dream. Like I had that right before I paused the game here, and I was like, hold on, stop. Where all of a sudden I feel like it's a memory, but when I sit there and try to think, I'm like, I don't think that's real. I seriously think it's something that my brain just imagined, almost like I fell asleep for a second. Because you know how that feels when you like wake up from a dream, you have that vivid image, that vivid last few seconds of your dream, and then you're trying to grasp it, but it runs away too fast, and you're like, there was like a thing, and it was pink, and and you can't quite, like, you can kind of see it, but your brain can't really process it, and you can't find the words to pull in to your mind, like, what the fuck you were just dreaming of. But that feeling of the dream kind of stays with you. Like, you know what I'm talking about. I keep having moments like that. And like, that's not normal. Like, okay, like my brain is just having weird, like, fucking, like, I don't even know what that would be considered. Like, it's just like weird, like, all of a sudden I'm getting this weird, like, whoa, was I asleep? What happened? And I'm like, I don't think I was actually asleep, but it's almost like that, like a split second. You're just having this weird fucking, like, half dream thing. And it feels like a memory, but I don't think they are. Because they run away too fast. Like when you wake up from a dream, you know, you're like, oh my God, I was having this great dream about this place, and there was something, and you know what I mean? Like you can almost vaguely see it, but for some reason you can't formulate what it is to explain the dream. You know what I mean? You're in that weird state where you're like, I remember the dream, but I also really have no fucking clue what it was. It's like that, and I'm like, I don't think these are memories. I seriously think, like, they're like fucking dreams. So I'm like, am I having like narcoleptic seizures or some shit? Like, I don't know what's going on, and it's been happening for weeks. And like, it's not normal. Like, that's not normal. And I don't think it's low blood sugar, because like, hi, I don't know, like, what is going on, and what the frick? But it happened last Thursday, and I was like, I got that almost blacking out feeling, and then I just had it today, like twice today. And again, that's not fucking normal. So like, 3 times. When did I record that part with Tyga? It was probably a couple weeks ago. Like, for you, it wasn't as long ago as it was recording for me, but I gotta look. But like that, I actually fucking blacked out. Like, I literally fell on the fucking floor while I was recording, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's not good. I fucking blacked out in the midst of recording. And then last Thursday, I almost did it at work. Today, I almost happened at work, and then it almost just happened again. So it's like, that's like 4 times. 1 out of those 4 times I actually did black the fuck out, but 4 times in like the last like 2 or 3 weeks, like there's something seriously wrong. So like, I can't talk about it anymore because I'm going to start crying because like I'm freaked out now. But anyway, this part's going to be a little bit longer because we'll get to a good stopping point before I stop, and because God knows. But if this posted, I'm not dead. So I was like, I'm recording it, but who knows what's going to happen. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to freak anyone out. But, like, at least know that if this posted, I'm fine. For now. Ugh, I don't know. Anyway. Battlefield. Come on, Smoogie. That's a bit dramatic. Oh, you have no idea, madam. None. Listen. How this one date turns out could possibly determine which of your suitors you choose. In other words, you're betting your life on this date. A date is a vicious struggle between man and woman. Prepare yourself, for one mistake means death. Stop it, game. It's a little too real right now. Stop. Really? Please allow me to send you the special dating Bible. It'll help ensure you come home from the fray alive, so make sure you read it from cover to cover. That'll be really helpful. Thanks. I'll be sure to read it. Wonderful. Now here's the site's address. Its address? It's something online? The ultimate death blow, the wall slam, used when the lady has been rudely backed up against the wall. Oh, hi, we like that here, though. An unavoidable sneak attack, the guess who, also known as the sorry I'm late, sprung on the lady from behind, can be executed as a hug or just a light grab. An area control move, this seat's taken, available only in the movie theater biome. More than half of the advice was utter gibberish to me. I have to admit, it was amusing gibberish. The special Bible Samugi had linked me to turned out to be an online manga for girls. I looked at the site again and grimaced. Not not exactly chock full of useful advice, but at least reading it helped me relax a little. I'll be alright. Manga isn't like real life. Nobody really body slams each other on the first date. If I just acted like myself, I'd be fine. Now to say thank you. I typed my reply into Whis and then started to walk again. That's when I heard, Spacey! Yeah! I felt a pair of strong, masculine arms suddenly wrap around me from behind. I was being hugged. As soon as I realized what was happening, I felt heat spread through my entire body. Oh, God. Oh, God! Don't tell me it's all true! Wait a minute. I recognize this. It's the dreaded sorry I'm late. I need to fight back. I'm so glad that I grabbed you in time. Are you alright, Spacey? Huh? Look, see? One more wrong step and you would have missed the top step of the stairs. Now that he mentioned it, I looked down and saw that I was indeed standing at the top of a staircase. It wasn't hard to imagine myself taking a tumble if I'd kept walking while looking at my phone. Oh, thank you. Ichi's sneak attack had left my heart pounding in my ears, yes, but in a way it was my own fault. I stepped out of his grasp and turned to face him, clearing my throat. We're together now, but we aren't exactly at the meeting point. Yeah, I got here a little early, but when I saw you, I just couldn't be patient any longer. Still, it did let me be in time to rescue you, so I guess we can forgive ourselves. Ichiya gave his signature cheesy wink. He seemed to be in a great mood. For some reason, I suddenly felt really awkward. My eyes slid away from his. We live in the same house. Setting up some meeting point and trying to arrive there separately seems so inefficient. Well, this is a date. You want things to be a little different from the ordinary, right? Make them seem a little more special. You don't just walk around town on a date, you know. A girl deserves to be treated like a princess on a date. I mean, I could handle dating an Ichiya. Once, at least. Maybe a couple times. It would be a lot, but I could handle it. I'm just saying, I'd like to be treated like a princess. Oh no. This is off to a bad start. Ichiya is using his usual repertoire of stupidly cheesy pickup lines. Thanks to the sneak attack a minute ago, I'm feeling kind of... So, where would you like to go first, my princess? Huh? You haven't made a schedule for today? Oh, I made certain to have a reservation set for our final destination, but I thought we could discuss other potential points of interest together. And here I thought you were going to arrive with a fully prepared schedule that was guaranteed to delight any normal girl. Come on, can we drop that, please? Even I won't make the same mistake too many times in a row. So yeah, today you are in the driver's seat. Say whatever you wish and I'll do my best to make it come true, my princess. Easy enough for him to say. Never mind dating. The only times I'd ever gone out to hang out with friends was when I followed either Kasuga or Samugi around town to go shopping. Having to decide on what to do wasn't something I'd ever had to do before. Is there anywhere you'd like to go? I'd gladly go to hell itself as long as I was with you. Well, that doesn't help. I can't think of anything. No, I'm sorry. No, you need not apologize for anything. What do you think about going to see a movie? A movie? I heard from Kasuga that you enjoy watching movies, though I hope there are ones playing that interest you. Ichiya pulled out his phone and looked up the list of shows at the closest movie theaters, then showed it to me. Oh, this one! Is that the one you'd like to watch? Cool. It looks like we'll be able to make the next showing if we hustle a little. He fiddled on his phone a bit more, then looked up at me and smiled. There, I got tickets for us. Luckily there were still seats open for the showing. Come on, let's go. He placed his hand on my back, a gentle sign that I could start walking. I had to admit that he was a graceful and attentive escort. He wasn't boasting much when he said he was well-versed in romance. I can't let Ichiya run this whole event from beginning to end. I have to calm down and find a way to take back a little control. While we walked up to the theater, I casually glanced at all the posters of the movies currently showing. One of the posters I happened to notice wasn't for any movie, but for some of the amenities provided by the theater. Come see a movie with your special someone. Enjoy our premiere couples seating. Relax on our semi-private two-person sofas and watch the show in each other's arms. That sounds nice. What? Okay, this is a good place to stop. So I'm going to stop. And we'll deal with because I'm assuming this is the movie we're watching, but we'll do that afterwards. So I'm sorry that this part was me like, ooh, having a mental breakdown. But you know, this is cement. Cause see, like when I had my like moment earlier today, I texted my friends like, "Give me your doctor's number. I need to call." And they're like, "Yeah, you need to call or go to the ER or something." And I was like, "No." And then I didn't call when I got home because I did forget. And then I was like, "It'll be fine." And then like my body is like, "It's not fine, bitch." Blackout again. Like so, yeah. So I know this is serious, and I will do something. And even though it's like, I will actually look and see now, even though it's almost 6 o'clock, if like they're still open or if I can call or whatever. I mean, you would think they have, but I mean, they might be normal hours, but like if not, I will walk into a conference room and do it tomorrow because this is getting serious twice in one day. Like I can't let this go. So so hopefully tomorrow's part that I record because I'm not going to I was going to record 2 parts today, but like the way I feel right now, I'm like, let's not. Let's not. Let's go. I'll get something to eat. Maybe that will be better. I'll just lay on the couch. I'll take it easy. And then what you should hear in the next part, which I will record tomorrow, is I called the doctor. Okay? And if I don't, feel free to put in the comments, listen, bitch, call the doctor, okay? You have every right to tell me off if I don't tell you, not obviously for you tomorrow's part, but the day after, that I called the doctor. Don't put that in tomorrow's part of whatever game's going up because these are all out of order. You can only do it in the next part of Variable Barricade, okay? But you can tell me off if I haven't called the goddamn doctor tomorrow, okay? Because there is no excuse. Like, my body is literally telling me something is wrong, bitch, call the doctor. So, I will do it. Anyway, I will hopefully see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.